says, Bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Right? We should be enlightening each other. Today I'm hearing something. I got the inspiration. I got the knowledge. And I'm sharing with you. Tomorrow you also hear from another person. And you come here and you give that inspiration. So bodhayanta parasparam. You give, enlighten each other. That's what we are doing. I'm not an acharya. I'm not a great person who can actually sit. But, it's that bodhayanta parasparam. That's the basic principle, We holding each other's hand, right? Just crossing a river. Have you seen crossing a river holding each other's hand? So a person is holding, another person is holding his hand, another person is holding his hand. So they are just going together, right? So we're just trying to cross this material ocean, joining our hands, right? Cooperation. And our leader is Srila Prabhupada. So this shloka, chapter number 6, is called Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga means meditation. That's the first thing which comes to our mind, right? And specifically, the moment we hear about Dhyana Yoga, we think about the yoga practices Prabhu was mentioning in his last lecture. Yoga is not only the yoga which is sitting and practicing, right? What is yoga? Connection with the God, yes. As a matter of fact, have you noticed that all the chapters of the Bhagavad Gita ends with a yoga? You know that? What is this chapter's name?
Dhyana Yoga.
What is the first chapter name? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Right? What is the third chapter name? Karma Yoga. Right? What is his last chapter name? 18th chapter. Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So this whole chapter is actually linked with the word yoga. So yoga is not essentially, it's just, sitting and meditating or, doing some asanas and doing some acrobatics and then attain fitness or attain peace of mind or even attain some bliss. Not only that, yoga is much, much, much more than that, right? As a matter of fact, in this chapter at the end, Krishna is saying, Yogi Tasmat Yogi Bhavarjuna. Krishna is telling to Arjuna that you become a yogi, right? And then Krishna says, who is a yogi? In the last verse of this chapter, Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena andaratmanaha shraddhavan bhajate yomam. That person who is actually keeping me inside his heart. And then madgatena andaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam. And while keeping me inside his heart, when a person is doing bhaja means what? Bhajan or bhaja means? Worship. Normally we see bhajan means singing, dancing, that is there. But end of the day, the root, the bija meaning of the bhaja means worship, right? Worshipping the Krishna, thereby establishing our connection with Krishna, right? What is our connection with Krishna? Or what is our connection with the God or whatever the supreme power which we think about? What is the connection we have?
We are the servant of eternal servant.
We are part and parcel. We are servant, right? So there is always a connection, and that connection is always being a servitor and the one who is being served. That is the connection. That is our lost identity. So yoga is to re-establish the lost identity. That is the most simplest definition which we can give. What is that? Yoga is re-establishing the lost identity. And what is our lost identity? Lost means what? That means we lost, right? It was there, exactly. Right, Prabhu? It was there. And we lost. And establishing that. Right? So we all have a connection with the Supreme Lord. Everybody, nobody in this world can deny the fact that I have a relationship with the Supreme. Everybody, every single person, animals, trees, atheist, everyone has got a connection with the Supreme Lord. Someone realizes that, someone forgot that, someone even understanding that, they will neglect it, right? But they cannot. See, can you say, any one of you, or can you say that I am by myself? I came through this world dropping from the heavens, from the sky. Can anyone say that? Maybe someone, right? At least in this group, anybody can say that I dropped from the sky? No. We came through a father and a mother. So we have a relationship, right? That is a relationship in this material world. Everyone has got that, right? The same relationship is there eternally with the Supreme Lord in a spiritual level, right? That is yoga. So here in this sloka, Krishna is actually talking about the essential part of a yoga. How many limbs are there in the yoga? Ashtanga yoga, basically. The name itself is actually saying Ashtanga, right?
Eight.
Ashta means 8. Anga means
Limbs.
There are 8 limbs in the yoga. This particular shloka, basically 16 and 17, is primarily touching the yama, niyama, and most importantly touching the pratyahara, right? So yama and niyama are basically do's and don'ts, right? You should do that. Satyam, asteyam, brahmacharyam, right? Apratigraham, all these kind of things. Whoever is a yoga studying or practicing yoga, they might be knowing more better than me. Niyama is like, what are the do's we need to do, right? Or like, you have to be, practicing celibacy. You have to be truthful, or you have to be, studying, adhyayanam. All this kind of things comes in this one. So these controlling of your senses, controlling of your habits, like too much of eating, too much of sleep is what is mentioned in the 16th chapter. So this is actually specifically spoken on a higher level on the yama niyama, and then very specifically spoken on the pratyahara. When it comes to pratyahara, now in between pratyahara, what is there? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. After pratyahara, the bodily function stops, and then your dharana starts. From there onwards, it's completely yourself, completely inward. Dharana, dhyana, and then finally you're reaching the goal. Till you reach the pratyahara, it's completely, stopping and then refining our external activities. So here in this one, what is it speaking about? Too much of eating, too much of sleeping. Very much relatable, right? Very much relatable, right? Not everyone, but at least some of us. I'm one of those, right? Too much of eating, too much of sleeping. Krishna says, in order to perform yoga, these two things need to be regulated first, right? So why? Because Krishna says, if too much of eating is happening, then what happens?
Sleep.
Exactly. Right? Too much of eating happens, automatically it's connected to sleep. Right? So, and if you are too much of sleeping, too much of eating will actually make you too much of sleeping. And with that, can you sit in a posture and do yoga?
No.
Forget about yoga. Can you read a book?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Can you even watch a movie? Sometimes not, right? Right? So
Eyes blinking.
eyes blinking, right? So the body won't accept, the body won't support you to if you're actually eat too much. Atyahara prayasascha. It's called atyahara. Atyahara means it's too much of eating. Now ahara, it's not only eating. So here ashnatas. Ashna specifically talks about eating, right? But eating means food, ahara, right? But that is not only the food which is actually going through the mouth. See, our Navadwaras, right? Or at least our Indriyas, they are holes, right? We call Dwara in Sanskrit. What is the meaning of Dwara?
Door.
Doors.
Entrance.
It's not holes, right? It's not, oh, our ear is a hole, right? It's not a hole, it's a door. Now, what is the difference between a hole and a door? A hole and a door. You can close it, right? You can close it. That is what these Indriyas can be closed, right? That's exactly what's mentioned here, right? So Navadwara Pure Dehi. This body is called Navadwara Pure Dehi. Where it is mentioned? Bhagavad Gita. Right? In the Bhagavad Gita, I think in the 5th chapter, Krishna is mentioning Navadwara Pure Dehi. Bhagavatam also, which is that Puranjana, right? King Puranjana.
That's right.
Where it is, he's actually having that, Narada Maharshi is actually talking this allegory to Yudhishthira Maharaj, I believe. So this Navadwara is 9 gates through which the things will go inside. Through the eyes, so many information go inside. Aharam. Through ears, so many things will go inside. With the mouth, so many things will go inside. With the nose, so many things go inside. So these are the primary entrances or dwaras or the doors by which there is so much of things go inside. Now, what happens if these things go inside?
It affects the consciousness.
That's fine, but what happens? You will get, watching cricket, what happens, Prabhu? Wisdom? Not everything gives us wisdom, right? Basically what it has.
Mind agitated.
It processes, right? Everything will get processed. Everything will get processed and it will actually channelize to that particular compartment, right? So this door, according to the Yoga Shustra of Patanjali, it is said that this door we should very, very carefully choose to open which information we should open. Like for example, let's say if a dog is barking and coming to their home, what you'll do? You'll close. There is nothing like there in Canada, right? But in India you'll find so many instances. There's so many dogs in the street, and you can see that sometimes dog will walk in and all these kind of things, right? So you just close it. If there is you will close the door in the night. Why? Just to prevent from the thieves to entering, right? So all these things, so you very carefully. So for example, if somebody is coming, right? Somebody is coming to your home, so you will be welcoming him by opening the door. So you can very consciously determine when the door should be open and when the door should be closed. All these things is ahara, right? On a very broader sense. Here specifically the word ashnastu is used because specifically this verse is talking about eating, right? So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is talking about, the regulation in diet, yukta. Yukta is actually coming in the next one. But nati ashnastu yogosti, right? If you are eating too much, that will not be good enough. If you are eating too less, that's also not good. So if you are actually eating too much, then what happens?
You sleep.
You will be sleeping. Sleeping is one of the effects of that. But primarily when you are eating too much, what happens? Your body will become heavy. When I say heavy it will become unfit to do anything of that sort.
Lazy.
Exactly. Your body is taking too much of energy and you will feel like, I just want to sit. I don't feel like,
Lazy.
Kind of, right? So it's like, just having a full like food, like up till here, and then just going and sitting on a yoga pose, it's not possible, right? So it is said that a yogi should not be doing. Now we can say that, oh, that is only for yogi. What about us? What about us, Prabhus, Matajis? Can we eat that a full meal? Be practical. We can, right? What's wrong in that?
Yes, we can.
Right? Any other objections? Any other comments?
A disease.
Prabhu himself is saying the other one, you'll get diseased. Prabhu said that you can. Prabhu himself. Ayurveda, I don't know about Ayurveda, but I heard about Ayurveda says that you should only be filling the stomach with half the food.
That's right.
So once half the food is there, then you have again half. Then you have to fill water, quarter.
1 quarter.
And the rest of this you have to
Air.
air.
Space.
Right? That is the ideal one. Can we measure? Okay, this is half of my thing. Can we measure? No, we cannot, right? So you have to understand your system. Actually, it is said that your body sometimes can be gastric. Kapha, Vata, and Pitta. So these are the 3 main ingredients of your body. Somebody will be very gastric. Like for example, if you take milk products, right? I might be very gastric, but Prabhu will not be gastric. Why? Because my body is gaseous. Vata. Prabhu's body will not be that gaseous. So he will be having less gas trouble than me, because mine is more gaseous. Vata. I might be having kapha. Kapha means what? The phlegm.
Mucus.
Right? The phlegm inside, right? So that dhatu is more in somebody. So if you take food which is accentuating that factor, you will be affected. So yukta means to understand the food. It's like somebody will say that take fruits. Take so much of water. See, understanding what is your body, understanding what is the type of food you should be taking, understanding what is the quantity of the food is taking is yukta, regulated. When you say 1 cup of food, 1 cup of rice might not be needed for a person. For example, Prabhu, 1 cup of rice might not be needed for him. But we say 1 cup of rice only. And after 2 hours, 1 cup of rice again. So much of information is going on. But essentially understanding your body and getting to a level wherein you know what is the food is taking. Actually, it is said that if you're hungry, then your body needs food, right? And then if you should take to the level wherein you feel energetic. It should not be it should not be eating for your mind, it should be eating for your body, right? So you should be only eating when you are hungry or when you feel. Basically, what is eating means? You're energizing, you're fueling, right? So with less fuel, how much we can go? With the optimum fuel, how much we can go, right? With the best fuel, how much we can go? That is what's mentioned in the Ayurveda and Yoga Sutra, in the Vedas also. In the Yoga and Ayurveda go hand in hand basically, right? Because up to the Pratyahara level, it's absolutely strict regulation of the body. And when it comes to regulation of the body, Ayurveda plays a most important. See, Ayurveda is not about medicine. What is the meaning of Ayurveda? Ayuhu. Ayu means? No. Life.
Life.
Right? Ayu means your life. Right? Kala Kshepo hi kartavya kshinam ayu dine dine. The sutra says, Kala Kshepo hi kartavya kshinam ayu dine dine. Kshinam ayu means your ayus. Ayus means your life, your lifespan. It's kshinam means deteriorating. Dine dine, every day. Right? And it said that yamasya karuna nasti. Yama means death personified, right? What is the meaning? Yamasya karuna na asti. Easy Sanskrit.
Death has no mercy.
Death has No mercy. Karuna nasti. So our ayus is actually getting down day. So when you say happy birthday, we are just celebrating, 60 years, 70 years, we are just celebrating, right? And moreover that, it should not be celebrated. We should be thinking, oh my God, one more year has gone. So what we will do, we will bring a nice cake, we will light the lamps and we will blow the light off. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Bring me from darkness to light. So what we are doing? Take me from light to darkness. We are just blowing off the light. Exactly opposite of what we should be doing. So that's what basically, so we should answer. This is Shruti mantras, reminding us. Yamasya karuna nasti. The moment of the truth is when our life is coming to an end. That is our biggest exam in our life. Biggest exam. Can we say to Yama, when Yamaraj comes, can we say that I have double PhD? I did my master's from Harvard, so I need one more year. Or can you say that I am the President of America? Give me one more year. I have to make sure that all these things is settled, wrapped up, and then I'll come. Yamasya karuna nasti. Yama will not even give 1 second. He will take away. So what we should do? Kartavyam Hari Kirtanam. Right? We should be immediately take Hari Kirtanam. So our Ayu is actually going every single day, every breath we are taking. It's actually, in Bhagavatam there is a similar, verse in this context. It's like Udyan Astam Chayannaso Tasyarthe Yachano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya Ayur Harati Vaipumsa. Harati means Khichna. To plunder, to steal. And that's what Krishna's name is, Hari. And Hari is used in the context of Narasimhadev. Nara, Hari. He plunders the things. And what do you plunder? Your own life. Kalos me, I am the time. I am the person who is coming as Kala. Kala means, another meaning of Kala means Yamaraj. He plunders, he steals you. Ayur Harati Vaipumsam. Pumsa means people's ayus will be plundered by Udyan Astam. Udyan means rising. Astam means setting of the sun. Every day by sun rising and setting, the ayus is actually going down. Right? So Uttama Shloka Vartayam. And what is our primary activity we should be doing? Uttama Shloka Vartayam. We should be praising and we should be taking the names of the holy name of the Lord. Right? So this shloka is actually mentioning about how we should be able to control our regulate our habits by taking proper food as we require. So for that we should be understanding our body. For that we should be understanding what actually makes me fit to do spiritual practice. And this one is specifically talking about a yogi, specifically the Ashtanga Yoga. Now when it comes to this, to our level, is there anybody who is a Ashtanga yogi, who is a rigorous practitioner of yoga here? So you're a regular strict practitioner of yoga?
Not strict.
You're not strict.
I'm a yoga teacher.
You're a yoga teacher, and what are you doing? You're helping others to
I'm teaching yoga at the Trungpa temple.
to be fit. Are you teaching them to become a real yogi or just for?
I'm teaching them how to link bhakti yoga to Ashtanga.
So bhakti yoga.
So they can
Exactly, right?
Western.
So you are not a real staunch Ashtanga yogi. No, you are actually taking yoga and doing the actual purpose of it by linking to the Lord. So you're a bhakti yogi, right? So no one here is a real Ashtanga yogi here. Ashtanga yogi is the one who actually follows all the 8 limbs, starting with yama, as I mentioned. Abstaining from all the primary don'ts. Niyama, practicing the ones which is required. Asana. Asana is most important thing. Padmasana, Vajrasana, Matsyasana, right? Matsyasana, if you do, your anger will come down, right? I just learned that. If you do Matsyasana, your anger will come down. Something which we can try. Anyway, asanas. So, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama. Pranayama, that's when you will actually sit in a proper posture and control your breath. Right? Pratyahara. Pratyahara is when you regulate your habits. That's when all these things will come. Once these 5 things are attained, now your body is in your control. Your body is in your control. The moment your body is in your control, you can take charge of your what? No? Your mind. Which is the most biggest or difficult thing, to control the body or control the mind? Control the mind. If I ask you, Prabhu, don't think about rose. I'm telling you, don't think about rose. Immediately starting thinking about rose, right? Even you will think that, oh my God, I have to buy the rose. Summer coming, right? I have to go to Canadian Tire, get the rose, do the gardening. Your mind is starting from rose to the gardening. Then from there you have to go to that, oh, there is something is going there. From there you'll take to there. Oh, I forgot, I have to go to US. From there you are going to US. And from there you will go to somewhere else. From there you will come to India. See, in a fraction of a second, from where to where the mind is going. It's extremely difficult to control the mind. So the moment you are actually controlling, see all these things, we said the dwara, right? These gates of processing this information. This information is processed by what? Who? Mind. The moment the mind processes this information, what will mind do? It will start desiring. Sankalpa, vikalpa, iti manaha. What does that mean? When you say that, Prabhu, you need to do chanting, it will process in the mind. Chanting is not possible. Vikalpa. Right? When you say that, Prabhu, let's go for a movie. Perfect. Let's go for it. Sankalpa. What is happening? The mind is processing it. Right? The mind is processing and it makes a decision. The mind will actually drive the intelligence to do the thing. The moment the movie thing comes, okay, I have to finish some work, Prabhu. I'll do this thing and I'm ready at 5 o'clock. Everything is done. When you say that Prabhu chanting, the mind will actually come up with some weird explanation. Like, Prabhu, you know what, I'm having some kind of thing I forgot, appointment I have to go. Or I have a headache. So many things. This is mind instructing the intelligence to behave. And the intelligence will actually come up with this one. As a matter of fact, intelligence should be controlling the mind. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmanaha. Right? Jahi shatrum mahabahu kamarupam durasadam, Bhagavad Gita says. Actually, the intelligence should...
Mind and intelligence are different?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Yeah. So, as I said, like mind is the one, say for example, a baby, right? He is actually going to the strawberry festival with his father and mother, right? So the baby is actually crying and he sees there is a very expensive toy or something, right? Now the baby is attracted to the toy. That is our senses. Got attracted, eyes got attracted to something. Now the baby is actually crying. Father is intelligence. Father is telling that, okay, no, that is not good. If you are buying it for $500, he will break it in 2 seconds. What is the point? Let's buy something according to his age, right? So the boy is crying. Yeah, time is up. We have 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. Bob, the baby is crying. Now the baby is influencing the mother, right? The mother is the mind. The mother is too much attached to the baby, right? So the kids will be crying and tell, I want that. Now mother is too much attached to this one. Now mother got influenced and now mother is influencing who? Father. The father. So finally, the baby will get the toy. And for sure, the toy will be broken even before coming to the home. That's what happens, right? So that is how these two things works together, right? So it is said that what is that shloka in saying like ahu para indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya param manah manasastu para buddhi yo buddhe paratastu saha, right? Indriyas are the lower level. The matter is the low, the dead matter is the low. Indriyani parani ahu. The dead matter is the lowest. Indriyebhya param manah. More than in Indriyas is the
Mind.
manas, the mind. Manasastu para buddhi. The intelligence is better than or the higher than
Mind.
Yo buddhe paratastu saha. Even higher than the mind is you. Saha.
Soul.
And who is Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you Arjuna, and you means who?
Soul.
The soul, right? So that elevation is there. And because the mind is so stronger, attached to these indriyas, the mind will overpower the intelligence. And that's when we get confused, and that's when we will get bewildered. The same story. Do you get the point? So this intelligence, mind, started getting controlled when the senses are subdued. Right? When the senses are subdued, after pratyahara, what happens? Dharana starts. Dharana is complete shutting off of all your external activities and started focusing. The moment you are perfecting dharana is when dhyana starts. There is a nice number. It said that when you are actually practicing for 30 seconds, there is a number, then you should be able to focus your mind, right? And if you're doing it for so many times like that, you can get into dhyana. And if you're able to, now dhyana is complete and pure focus. Dhyana means meditation, right? And when you're completely focused onto the Lord, you will get to the samadhi. Samadhi means essentially the goal of connecting with the Supreme Lord, right? This is the 8 limbs. And a person who is practicing this continuously and strictly is called a Ashtanga Yogi. And that's what I asked, is there anybody any Ashtanga Yogi here? Possibly not. It's very difficult. Arjuna in this chapter, Arjuna says, Krishna, all you're saying is good, but I cannot control my mind. I cannot become a yogi. I can do I can block the wind. Right? Manam.
Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Pramadi balavat.
Pramadi balavat dridham.
Tasyaham nigraham.
Tasyaham nigraham mani vayur eva sudushkaram. You know, even the mighty wind I can block with my Gandiva. Right? With my Gandiva. In the Mahabharata war, when Arjuna and Krishna were actually going, it's a beautiful story, we don't have time to say that, but in the Mahabharata war, when Jayadratha, Arjuna wanted to kill Jayadratha. So they were actually going in and they were just ferociously fighting with everybody, Arjuna. And in the middle of this day, Krishna said, Arjuna, the horses are very tired. You know, we have to do something. If this is like that, the horse is going to fall down and then we cannot do the battle. And the time is ticking. And then Arjuna said, like, what should we do? And it's the middle of the war. It's a Kurukshetra, Mahayuddha, right? Millions and millions of soldiers are there, like fighting. And so Krishna said, like, we have to do something about it, because unless and until the horses are fed, you won't be able to reach to the destination of, killing Jayadratha. So you have to do something. Arjuna created an oasis. What's an oasis?
A lake, small pond.
A pond, a tree, a nice, a nice environment. With the Gandiva, he created an oasis, a nice pond, lot of grass, a nice tree, a nice, flowers. Everything is created with this thing. And Mahabharata, it said that. And Krishna, now takes the war is going on around. And now here, this nice pond and everything, Krishna and I waters, give the water to the horse. He massages the horse and all these things. Arjuna is capable of doing that. Such a Maharathi is Arjuna. And he is saying, Krishna, I can block the wind. I can block the wind. I can do even miraculous things. But this mind inside me, it's even powerful than that, right? So the mind is very, very, very powerful. If you do this, it will be your friend. If you don't do this, it will be your
enemy.
What is the shloka which actually says? Uddhared atmanatmanam na atmanam avasade atmaiva hir atmano bandhu atma ripuratmana. Your mind itself is your friend, Arjuna, if you control your mind. Your mind is your enemy if you don't control it. Same thing, right? We know so many examples. If you go with a good friend, he will take you to a good deal, a good result, or a good place, or you'll get goodness. If you have a bad friend, then he will take to bad things. So I have to stop here. I had a few more things to say, but I'll stop here and I'll take one or two questions, real quick one. Yeah.
Any real life a strong yogi you have reference for? Anyone you know or you can talk about?
Prabhu, the best yogi which we all know is Vivekananda and his guru, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Right? These are the two most important yogis which we can refer to. Right? They are, you see, like Vivekananda, it is said that Vivekananda was actually doing dhyana, and then one cobra was actually came and he was hissing. Vivekananda didn't even know. Right? Because he was completely alone, he was in complete meditation. It is said that Vivekananda just need to just read like this. He could read like this. And then he could, when he came to Boston, Chicago, right? Boston, yeah, Chicago. And he was just completely took everybody, by his speech, right? That is the power of yoga. And more than that is his guru, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, right? There is one more yogi who is called Ramana Maharshi. Have anybody heard about Ramana Maharshi? Yes, he is again one of the great yogis, contemporary. He recently was there somewhere in south of India, right? So these are the prime examples. There are other yogis, Prabhu, but these are the most important prime yogis which we can refer to. Yeah. Yeah.
If Arjuna himself cannot control his mind, then how can
Good question. Yes, that is what Krishna is saying. Arjuna, don't worry about that. Since I was talking about Bhagavad Gita, right? Arjuna was asking in the first shloka of this chapter, Arjuna was asking, Krishna, should I become a sannyasi or a yogi? Right? Arjuna is asking, okay, I will tell you both the things and you choose better one. Krishna tells about sannyasa yoga. Krishna talks about dhyana yoga. Krishna talks about karma yoga. Finally, Krishna talks about the bhakti yoga. It's the moksha sannyasa yoga is the final one, but it's actually bhakti yoga comes in the 12th chapter, in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita, and the cream of bhakti yoga is spoken on the end of the Bhagavad Gita, wherein Krishna says, Arjuna, forget about all the things I've said. What you have to do? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshaishyami ma shucha. What is the meaning of ma shucha? Ma means
Don't.
no.
Don't.
Shucha means
Worry.
worry. Krishna says, I have said all these things, right? Dhyana, dhyana, karma, sannyasa, all these things I have told you, Arjuna. But it's very difficult, I know. Right? So, but if you don't understand the difficulties of this path, what will happen? You will not appreciate the Bhakti Yoga. You know what I'm saying? You won't appreciate. First of all, you need to understand how difficult is that to achieve the Supreme Lord. What are the different paths by which you get into this one? Like for example, you got an admission to let's say one of the prestigious university through some way, Prabhu. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Now after getting into the college or the university, you see other students who are brilliant, who have come through so much of the exams and tests and everything. Then you'll appreciate, oh my God, I am sitting in this seat which is hot seat. You have to really, really struggle for that. in order for Arjuna to appreciate the end result is what Krishna is telling all these different paths. And then Krishna says, Arjuna, this is Kali Yuga. You know, I know. Don't worry. All you need to do is take the Harinam, right? You chant the holy name, and thereby Sarva Dharman Parit Mam Ekam Sharanam. You take complete shelter of me. That's all required. By whatever means it is possible. And the most important way of taking shelter of Krishna in the Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Pranami Harim Padam. You know this shloka? This shloka is the final and the last shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam is condensed into this one shloka. What is that? Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Pava Pranashanam. In this Kali Yuga, Kalau Dosher Nidhe Rajan Asti Eko Hi Mahaguna. In this Kali Yuga, everything is dosha. Isn't that true? True or true?
Absolutely true.
Absolutely true, right?
Absolutely.
In this Kali Yuga, everything is dosha. Kalau Doshe Nidhe Rajan Asti Eko Hi Mahagunan. Sanskrit is very easy. Who can translate that? Asti Eko Mahagunan. There is only one guna. Everything is bad. There is only one guna. And what is that guna? Kirtanad eva Krishnasya. Krishna's Kirtana is the only guna. Mukta Sangha Parambrajeda. It will liberate you, Arjuna. Oh, liberate you. This is Shukdev Goswami talking to Parikshit Maharaj. Oh, Rajan, this is the only way. Take the holy name of the Lord in this Kali Yuga. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant the holy name. Read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Your life will be 100% successful. Get out of from this material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki, Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Gaura Premanande.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.